Let's bring in the Liberal Senator and former diplomat Dave Sharma. Before we get into that kind of detail, Dave, you know, you've spent a bit of time in the United States working. Just how do you feel in this moment?
Look, I'm shocked, Peter. It's terrible to see this sort of political violence exercised at a rally. It seems like it was an attempted assassination attempt. It seems like former President Trump was quite fortunate to escape with a small amount of harm he did. But it's shocking to see. I mean, I lived in Washington for 3 years. I worked at our embassy there. You know, and I certainly never saw anything like that during my time there. I was there for one of the presidential elections. You know, they should be contested, but not with violence, of course.
Yeah, I've covered 1,000 of these rallies as well, and I know how locked down things get when it comes to Secret Service and when it comes to security sweeps in the hours leading up to these kinds of rallies. But given that this shooter or alleged shooter wasn't so far away, and given what that witness may or may not have seen, was there a lapse in judgment here?
Look, I mean, obviously I don't want to preempt any investigation, of course, but it seems that there was a security failure. I've seen reports that suggest that the shooter was not actually inside the rally, but external to it and from an elevated position. Look, obviously there's a Secret Service detail that not only protects candidates, but also sweeps and clears areas as well. But I mean, we've seen in US political history, you know, if people are sufficiently motivated, they can often avoid or evade these security measures. And, you know, we've seen this before in US politics, whether it was the attempted assassination of President Reagan in 1981, the assassination of Bobby Kennedy in 1968, John Fitzgerald Kennedy in 1963. Even with good security measures, if you've got highly motivated individuals who want to do someone harm, they can often find a way. Yeah,
you're right. Now, given the level of political discourse at the moment, Dave, given how inflammatory rhetoric is both by politicians and by members of the public because of social media as well, are you surprised that this has happened?
Look, I am still surprised. I hope and expect that, you know, citizens and my fellow citizens can understand the difference between a contest of ideas and, you know, a fierce debate and disagreement as well, but that a line should never be crossed in liberal democracies into using violence to prosecute your political point or to, you know, win an argument with an adversary. You know, that's at the heart of our society and our system of government and system of the way we run our countries, is the idea that conflicts can be had and debates and disagreements can be had, but ultimately they're settled by reference to an election or a court decision or something of that nature. And we respect the decision of the umpire. We don't take matters into our own hands. And so I think what we've seen here is shocking. And, you know, I'm glad to see that people across the US political spectrum have condemned this so quickly and so firmly, as they should. And we need to make sure that, you know, we do so here in Australia as well and take a similarly firm line on actions which cross the line from debate and discourse into intimidation and violence.
Well, thankfully, we don't see these sorts of scenes here in Australia. But are you satisfied or are you even concerned about the safety of politicians here at the moment, Dave, bearing in mind that you've got all these protests that are taking place at the moment right around the country when it comes to the war in Gaza and Israel? You're seeing all these protests everywhere. You're seeing these sit-ins everywhere. Do you fear what could happen here in Australia?
Look, I have been troubled by some of the protests we've seen, whether it's the encampments on universities or whether that's the defacement and harassment of electoral officers and electoral staff, of people like Josh Burns, even people like the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, where people have been intimidated from going to work and have had, you know, their property defaced. That is a threatening sort of an atmosphere, and it doesn't have any place in our society. So, you know, I'm not going to say there's a parallel here. We're quite different countries, the United States and Australia, but I think we have been seeing things in recent months, as the Prime Minister was right to call out earlier, in Australia, which are beginning to encroach upon a line that should never be crossed.
I think we've got this moment, Dave, that I'd like to play for you, if we've got it. It's the moment after, or the few moments after, that Donald Trump was hit by the bullet, and he seems, once it appears as though he's okay, he seems to recognise the significance of the moment. I just want to play this if we've got it, Newt.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. Oh.
Move it to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Up. Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare.
Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
Down. Shooter's down.
Shooter down.
Are we good?
Shooter's down.
Shooter's down. Are we good to move?
Shooter's down. We're good to move.
We're clear.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. My shoes down. Get the shoe.
Watch out.
Wait.
Yeah, so right there, Dave, you know, there's a bit of hot audio where, first of all, shooter's down, we're clear. Then you hear Donald Trump say, "Let me get my shoes," and then he says, "Wait," and that's where he raises his fist to the crowd to pump them up. I mean, that's him recognising the significance of that moment, isn't it? Because it will be played over and over and over again.
Well, look, I think it's an image of, I guess, defiance that he won't be intimidated or bullied or threatened out of this campaign. I mean, yes, look, Donald Trump is a seasoned media performer. He knows how to, portray a moment. But I would also say he's obviously been in a, tremendous amount of shock as a result of what's happened. I think partly what you're seeing is his instinctive response to that, which is to say, I'm not going to be bullied or cowered by whatever's just happened here. I'm not going to drop out of this race. And I think it's an important message. Yes, I'm sure it resonates with his voters and base, but I also think it's an important message for democratic societies more broadly.
Yeah, look, I'll wrap it up here, Dave, but the politics of this is that this boosts his campaign, does it not?
Look, I don't want to be a commentator on US politics, and especially in the wake of a terrible incident like this. I think we just have to see. But obviously, incidents of political violence throughout history, had a pretty marked impact on the trajectory of politics, and I suspect this one will be no different.
Yeah. All right, Dave Sharma, good to get your thoughts as always. Appreciate it, Dave. We'll talk to you again soon.